Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. And no doubt there's a lot of teachers out there, spiritual teachers in many fashions, as well as A Course in Miracles teachers. You hear this in so many different ways about what the purpose of your life is, and it kind of goes into the direction of their perception. That depending on how and way you see the world is where you're going to apply and understand this. So in this sense of the fact that you're the light of the world, the idea here is that if you're forgiving, that's how you prove that you are the light of the world and that you are healing the world and bringing light to the world of darkness. The interesting thing about what this is that essentially that is why you are here. Now, it's not about saving a world that is actually here. It's about, remember, it's about the fact that you believe and think and attack creation to develop a world of separation. So you have this world in your mind, in your experience, in every element that you are experiencing it right now, and forgiveness is the only way out of it. Now, that means that the way in it and to stay in it, and the only way in which you do stay in it, is by the opposite of forgiveness. That means your resentments, your grievances, your judgments, your misinterpretations, your upsets, all of these different types of things that we refer to as negative are simply just things that are keeping us here. Now, that's the thing about what they are, is not just keeping us here, but the fact that these things, resentments and grievances, imply that there is something not yours, not you. So remember, forgiveness is actually going to your wholeness, your recognition of the totality of who you are. Your goal here, as it is stated, is to remember who you are. So that's pretty intense. Your illusions about yourself and the world are one. That's what this is all about. Now, this is like this huge game, and even though that sounds to like make it meaningless and everything, but the whole experience of what this is the fact that you have gone down this road, this path of an idea, and then you add more ideas to it, those ideas, and you just keep adding ideas, and it just keeps going down and down and down and down. And every single one of those ideas you believe so wholeheartedly that it literally creates experience. That you are so powerful, being the light of the world, that you develop universes just simply by looking for something to believe in, something to exist, by thinking. Naturally, by thinking, this is what happens. Literally by the presence of thought. Okay? So it's a little tricky because then when you get into even the title, function or forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. Meaning, before I was the light of the world, did I not have a different function? And was I not the light of the world before the world? And so it gets a little tricky because this is not the first go around by any means of any sort of structure of anything. No, we are eternal beings, and we are constantly doing ideas, doing existence. So this is existence. But we like to think that we're stuck in it right now. We're thinking that we can't get out of it. This is a form, a structure of ideas of separation that we really have challenged ourselves. Because we actually confined ourselves in so many different ways, even in this set of prison. So as your function, your purpose in this particular situation, this world of separation, your function here is to forgive it. So as the light of the world, that means in order to change, like the projector screen, in order to change the movie that's in projecting into the world, you have to let go of the ideas of what the world is previously. In order to have a new world or a new movie, you have to stop with the old movie, right? So if it was so simple as just taking out that reel and putting in a new reel for another movie, oh, Harry and Sally met something or other, and you got this whole nother experience. You got mail all of a sudden, and so I don't know, it's the hopeless romantic movies. Okay. But the experience of what you're doing here right now, and forgiveness, is far more than just the pardon of sins done against you. We're talking, and this is like the key to all transcendence right here, okay? This is big. Literally letting go of concepts and ideas of every last detail of the world. Now that's actually not as big of a deal as it seems, because you like think, oh, I have to forgive this curvature of this object and that curvature of this object and the very next curvature of object. But no, it's in the sense of the fact that you think you're judging something. Like, until you see this world as nothing, you won't be able to change the movie. You won't be able to see a different world. You have to see this as nothing. So that's what forgiveness is. So to apply forgiveness to any degree is to no longer understand it, no longer have any sort of reference to it, no longer have any thoughts about it, no longer giving it energy in any sort of way, no longer have an emotional response to it, no longer anything referring to it at all. And we're talking every last little thing. So when people come into your life and different situations, they are opportunities to forgive. And you want those opportunities to forgive because you want to experience miraculousness and outside in the totality of what you are. The goal is to recognize and realize who you are. This is like this whole world, nothing, in fact, this whole world has evidence that you don't exist. Now it says, no, you don't exist as you actually are. You do exist as a body that you are not. You do exist and in this structure. And in fact, we're going to say you do exist in this way just like all of us. Isn't that interesting? It's like, oh yeah, every body is like that. We're bodies. You see us bodies. You see us die. You are going to do the same thing. Your body, you're just like this body. And the whole idea of specialness, which doesn't refer to in this one, but this idea that you wanted to be special, you developed this world in a way that you wanted to be special. And it's not like that's a bad thing. No. We like to project our ideas of guilt onto this, but in the sense that we made our bodies the same, and so every body is the same. We're unique, right? But every body is the same. We got this generic stuff about our bodies that is all the same, and nobody can achieve any sort of breaking the barriers of limitations. No. In fact, when we have an idea of someone like Jesus that did break the barriers of limitations in this physical world, wow, they are, what's the word? Special, aren't they? So it's rather interesting because that's what you're here to do. To become the stories you've heard. Now all these stories are about you, about your life, about the whole world, and I'm just simply bringing it back all into the responsibility for what and who you are. So it's rather interesting because forgiveness is quite literally how you do everything. How you're going to do all miraculous works. So yes, it's going to transcend yourself and the entire world. You're going to save everybody through your forgiveness. They're all bodies, we're all bodies, because you are obsessed with physicality and the bodies and the elements in which made this whole holy spiritual universe into a prison of physicality.